Chase Thomas podcast. My nephew needs me to record. See, I already hate it. I hate it.
All right, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chase Thomas podcast from still the aforementioned Chase Thomas, coming to you live from Knoxville, Tennessee, Everything School HQ. Joining me, co-host of More Important Issues, no Alex Sarkis, no Landon Raby tonight. It is a weird time for Caleb Mitchell and I to be doing a podcast where you never know. I guess Tony Vitello or someone could break what he ends up doing as we're taping this on a Tuesday night. But as of right now, Tony Vitello still torn, still has not made up his final decision as to what he is going to do between the San Francisco Giants MLB job or staying at the University of Tennessee. If it happens while we're recording, we'll react. But just, I feel like I have to do this PSA at the top of every show before this decision is made. We did this yesterday, Caleb. There's no point in discussing it until something happens. Like, there's no point in discussing it.
There's not. I'm glad you said it first, because I was going to mention they're probably both just hanging out in Lindsey Nelson, like observing who's coming in, who's going out. I mean, there were reports that apparently there's a rumor going around he was in a hot tub at the facility this morning. I mean, just crazy stuff. He was playing poker. He was, who knows? It's interesting because I don't think I've ever seen a true coaching search decision, whatever you want to call it, legitimately come down to the guys just got to decide yes or no. Like, there's no, like, it doesn't seem like money's involved. Doesn't seem like you have this. I mean, obviously, an MLB program, like being an MLB manager, is a big deal, but it's not so much like a status thing either. Like, oh, you go from here to here. It's like they're very much like, yes, one's bigger, but this one's big in its own right. So it's like very interesting. It's just like, what's he gonna do? Yes or no? That's it. So it's interesting. It's kind of fun. I hate to say it.
I need it to end. I need to just know what the deal is and move
He
forward.
probably likes it because there were, and not the ego, not in an egotistical way, although I think he probably does enjoy it a little bit in that way too. But I mean, to have like 200 people out there today just at a scrimmage in the fall, like, that's got to rock.
And it can't hurt if he's on the fence here. I mean, for lack of a better term, with all those fans on the fences and the porch, but it can't hurt to just see that, like, man, it is October 21st, and there are a bunch of people some people like clearly probably took off work to go over there and help. There's like,
I tried.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Did you really?
It was just one of those, like, if I could get some stuff done, I was gonna go. But
I drove by campus today, and I thought about turning in. I was like, well, there's no reason for me to do
I thought about Sunday going and camping out the facility to see if a team meeting got called or something. Just sitting in the parking lot. I know where they park. You'd know if a meeting happened.
Yeah, I
don't have that kind of dedication, unfortunately.
I got a phone. I can text Shump. I can text some guy and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on here?
Exactly. Last note about that, I cannot wait until hopefully it's not a loss, but a close, bad game in Lexington, and then there's those fans that complain how the team performed on the field to fans on Twitter. See, we're all focused on Tony Vitello when it's the middle of October, and we should be focused on Kentucky. I can't wait. That tweet's gonna hit hard.
Well, I do think I heard this point. I think it was Russell Smith on the drive this afternoon about, like, this has been great for Heupel, and like, just everyone's kind of moved on from the goal line pick six and just what happened on the road yet again. And
his Monday press conference looked like a Butch Jones Arkansas State press conference. There's like 3 people there.
You could not drag me to a Josh Heupel press conference at this point in year 5 where nothing will be said. To his credit, he is committed to word salad in every press conference for 5 years in a row. And God bless him. God bless the beat writers who are having to go every week. And hey, what'd you think about? Hey, both teams play hard, essentially, is what. And you're like, all right, great stuff. Like, it's just
they're so outdated. We just need to get rid of post game.
No, we need to do them. Because then you shield more and more from the media, and then it's just it can get dicey, man. You don't want to give up the access. You just want to encourage them to be more open. But again, I don't know how you fix that part of it.
I don't disagree with your point. I just think because there's a line you got to walk where you you don't want your coach to be too open in the sense of things are going to come across wrong to whether it be the league and they're criticizing officiating, which I wouldn't hate if Josh Heupel would criticize some officiating, or criticizing the other team or criticizing their own players. It's like there's this fine line of like you want to say the right things and you want to learn something. It just seems like you rarely get any. You either get a funny moment that goes viral, or you get a this guy's an idiot, fire him moment. Like there's never anything great come out of press conferences. Is the only like that's why I'm like, yeah, they're just kind of dumb.
There've been some good ones. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, but
Come after me.
that's just
What's
a
the
viral
one?
moment.
You got me like a cat. Meow. What the Coastal Carolina coach years ago?
Oh, I don't,
We got
is
a
that a
bunch of cats in
Chadwell?
here. No, this is
Okay.
pre-Chadwell. This is
Okay.
like this was over a decade ago because you can tell by the grainy
Yeah.
press conference footage.
Well,
You don't
that's
know what I'm talking
every
about where he's like,
non-Power 5. I don't know how we had better cameras than random pick MTSU or something. It's hilarious watching their lives.
oh, is it very different in quality?
Oftentimes, not always.
Interesting.
Oftentimes, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just we got a bunch of cats in here. Meow.
I'm sure I've seen it. It doesn't ring a bell off the top.
I'll have to send it to you after we're done here. I forgot his name, but yeah. So that's our PSA here at the top. No Tony Vitello talk. We both very much appreciate Tony Vitello and would like Tony Vitello to be the Tennessee baseball coach for the long term, but we shall see. Let's do a stock report here. Which Vols, football players, coaches, position rooms are trending up? Their stock's up right now, and who stock is down following the Alabama loss on Saturday? Caleb Mitchell, for you.
I think there's only one person that's truly trending up for me. And this is also some bias involved, but you can also look at the box score. You can go look back at the tape and it's easy to see why, but it's DeSean Bishop. Absolute just baller. You know, he's come in on a bum ankle. In fact, goes out for a few plays. I don't know if he's out for a full drive against Alabama, and returns and just earns every bit that he can. He's a phenomenal player. And I think too, if that running back room played really well too, outside of him. So maybe that whole room deserves some credit, not just to DeSean Bishop. But that's probably after Saturday, the way things went. That's probably the only person I could confidently say stock went up on.
I think Braylon Staley's stock went up. I think he had a really good game for Tennessee. I think Sanders, I'd probably say up. Like, you trust him more and more at right tackle. Obviously graded well. His biggest game thus far. More and more reps. He looks very comfortable at right tackle.
Yeah. I'll say defensively too, a solo guy, probably Bryson Eason. Great to see him. He was big to have in the interior where you're just lacking.
Maybe Boo Carter. He played his most snaps at Star. He outsnapped Jalen McMurray, which could be huge because I think you and I, and we've talked about this, is I think you got to take some of this off Ty Redmond. And I think you move Jalen McMurray down and wait on Jermod. We'll still wait and see on Jermod McCoy if he makes it back before the end of the year. But I think with Boo getting that many snaps, to me, the best use of all those guys is just plugging in Boo for 50 to 60 snaps at Star and then splitting Jalen McMurray. Like, he gets 70% of the CB2 snaps across from Hood, and then 20% or 30%, whatever, goes to Redmond. And then he gets like 10 to 15 snaps to spell Boo at Star for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like needs to
at
be
this point. It has to be,
because Redmond did not have a good game on Saturday. And but again, it's just, I feel bad for him because you're in a true freshman in that spot. And then behind him, you have William Wright, a walk-on who did not have a great game. And you're like, what are we doing? Like, I think it's not William Wright's fault. It's not Ty Redmond's fault. Like, you got snake bit in a really crazy way. Like, the odds of you losing your top two corners week 1 or before, one in January, one in the first week of the season for the year, is just crazy. So the odds were very slim there, but I
think hindsight's gonna make it look worse, but I actually think they did a good job of preparing that room for this season. But the cards they were dealt were just unreal. There's not a lot of teams in the country that can lose those guys and bounce back.
I don't think they've handled safety well.
No, I'm talking about corner specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. corner specifically, not
Yeah, corner they would have been fine, even if it was just Ricky, or I mean, if it was
just
like,
Jamad.
yeah, just
One or the
Jamad,
other.
like,
Yeah.
if it was just
It
one,
would-
you're totally fine there, and where you don't have any problems with where we're at corner this year.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that's just an unfortunate. I honestly, I don't know if they're. I say there's not many. I don't know if they're in this era where transfers are so prevalent. I don't know if there's any team that could survive that. Your top two guys, not just two corners, your top two guys going down.
This is going to sound sacrilegious, but do I say stock down on like Rodney Garner and Coach Chop's unit in big games? Where this is the second time. Like Georgia last year, Carson Beck drops back 40 times. He doesn't get sacked once, and he got pulverized the week prior by Ole Miss. Ty Simpson comes into this game. That Alabama right side, they got crushed by Mizzou's defensive line the week prior, and Tennessee proceeds to not get any sacks and really get Ty Simpson on the ground, giving up 3rd and 13 from, he's running around his own end zone on the first drive of the game for Alabama, and obviously not sacked. But I don't get it, man. You came in leading the country in sacks, and to not get Ty Simpson on the ground once was not on my bingo card. So I don't know what's up with Tennessee in these big games on the road, not being able to get home, because the talent's there. And I feel like, until further notice, the stock's down for me on the defensive line in big games. Like I don't know what's going on there.
I don't think it's unfair. I do think a lot of that is to do with coverage. The ball got out quick. Now that 3rd and 13 you mentioned, that's not coverage exactly, other than they completely lost the tight end, but obviously you had time to bring him down. So that's not all just you can't cover anybody. But we struggle. Guys get off the line and get away from us.
Yeah.
If they get the ball out quick, we're in trouble. I don't think it's entirely unfair, but I thought they did a good job of bottling up the run. Now, what Alabama did well is something that Georgia does well, and they've done well all year, and it's while they're in the position they're in. They did a good job of, if they needed a yard, they got a yard. If they needed 5, they got 5. Like they showed up in the moments they had to show up in, and it killed us, and our defensive line didn't show up. I don't think it's entirely unfair. You want to get home more, but I thought the pressure was good on Ty Simpson. That's another thing similar. You go back to another big game this year in Georgia where you did get pressure. Gunnar Stockton just made big time throws. He stood in and took hits. Ty Simpson stood in and took hits. And they did. I know it was technically caused by the offense, but that was a forced error. You ran a left tackle into the backfield, into Ty Simpson's back to cause that fumble. That if Jaden Perlotti just plays football, you score a touchdown, a defensive touchdown.
Well, here's what I'll say on the Perlotti part of it. And look, that's a true freshman. I don't even want to say blunder. Like, that's just a true freshman error is what I would just say.
Oh, absolutely.
Not pick up the ball. But to be fair to Perlotti, there were multiple Vols who could have picked that ball up and ran it back for 6.
There's only one that batted it, though.
There was only one that batted it, but he was not the only one who could have.
If you don't even
pick
up and run, or if you don't run after, fine by me. You should grab that football, because if you don't think it's a fumble, if it gets reviewed and it's a fumble and you don't have a clear and obvious recovery, it's Alabama football. If you just pick it up and go hand it to Mr. Official, it's our football, no matter what.
I don't disagree. And it ended up, that one hurt, but again, Perlotti, true freshman, not played a lot this year. He'll be fine. Like, I think Perlotti
I'm not
a
out
player
on
for Tennessee, but I agree with you. That was tough. I would say final stock down. I think Kitzelman, right? Like, another bad drop in this game. He was okay, but he's just getting too many targets. I just feel like Kitzelman is targeted too much right now. Maybe part of that's just because of how thin you are at receiver. They're so banged up. Would they have 4 scholarship receivers available in this game between the starters and then Dodson? Because I think everybody else was out. So they're super thin there. But yeah, you got DeSean Bishop late, and he looked good. But Ethan Davis, obviously, he's been out for weeks. That's not good for him, because it's just you got 2 talented guys behind you, and I feel like Van Dorselaer has already passed him. So I'm interested to see what Davis's snaps count looks like after this, because Van Dorselaer is gaining, in terms of confidence and playing and everything else. So I don't know. And then I guess the final one, Caleb, I just don't know what the deal is with the rotation on the offensive line, and that Heupel is continuing that against Kentucky. I don't understand that at all. Like, part of the reason you were rolling offensively was because you had your 5. Like David was out, but when
Yeah.
David came in, you're going to I thought it was just going to be, we plug David in at right, we move Perry over to right guard, and we move Moy over to left guard, and Shams our swing guy, number 6 off the bench when we need him, someone needs a breather or whatever, but like we're going with that 5. To rotate like this and get Satterwhite in there sometimes, and then to move Moy in the same game at left guard and right guard in the same, like, not because of injury. I thought that was very, very bizarre how they rotated in the first half in this game, and that it's going to continue is very strange. I don't know why this is something that they're choosing to go down at all. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I thought it was baffling, and I don't know if it led directly to any errors because you can keep all 5 in there and they're going to false start.
I mean, Moy got his first sack of the year when he got moved over to left guard. Like
Yeah.
the sack that he gave up, he was over at left guard, and he's been right guard all year.
No, I don't love it. I think you either roll with the 5 you've been rolling with, or you plug David Sanders in, like you said, move Jesse Perry over. I mean, it's barring injury, obviously.
Yeah.
There's got to be more consistency across that front line. It'd be different if it worked, and I'd be going, I'm an idiot, but it just simply wasn't their best game.
I don't like the rotation. Like it's one thing if you do what you did in 22, where you basically alternated Mincy and Crawford at left tackle. Cause I mean, that was just more of like, neither was good enough to be like a 60 snap with that tempo being what it was guy, you know? Right. And you also had Darnell Wright on the other side. Like you had a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, and it was just the speed of which all of it was moving was just unbelievable. So you were able to get away, but you don't have that. And now you're just like, man, I think continuity, especially there's some positions you want to rotate. Defensive line, sure. I want to rotate. I don't want to rotate on the offensive line.
And I would be rotate more receiver. Understanding of rotating offensive line if, like you said, it's 2 guys flopping in and out the same position. It's not switching sides of the offensive line possession after possession.
Right.
Yeah, I don't love it, and I think it's and to do it in this game too, where not that Alabama threw a ton of exotics at you, but they were bringing pressure the whole game. Alabama, especially early, sold out in the run. They said, we're going to stop the run, and if you sit back in the pocket, we're going to challenge you. Like, you better get the ball out quick if you're passing it. And so that just puts a ton of pressure on an offensive line, and now you're adding pressure by moving guys a ton in that, not letting them get comfortable at all. That just seemed like a recipe for disaster. And it's one of those things. It almost worked because, I mean, you should have been in that ball game barring a few errors. And it's just one of those things that gets highlighted when you have the night you had in Tuscaloosa.
Does Tennessee have a bigger offensive or defensive problem right now?
Probably offensive, because I just think now grand scheme, probably defensive, but we kind of credit to the defense. They're a little bit more consistent, and we know what they're going to give you. It's not changed week. It's not like they've showed up one week and just been stellar. And you're like, oh, what happened? They just are who they are. They'll get some stops here or there. They're probably going to let teams convert big third downs. They're going to let teams go on long drives. I guess just is what it is. But as a whole, this team just kind of going dark for periods of games is disturbing. And that's highlighted by the offense more because of their inability to score during those dark periods. So I don't know, depending on one side of the ball or not is probably a little unfair, but the offense seems much more up and down, whereas the defense is like, they are what they are.
I mean, the defense deserves credit for being better against the run on Saturday. I think they did a really solid job there, and that was a positive step in the right direction, getting back to more of what we've seen the first 4 years under Banks and company. They, I think, limited Jam Miller and company really well. Ty Simpson didn't kill him on the ground, even with his feet, so I think that was a positive. I do think offensively, I'm with you. I think 2 things can be true. The offense has been really good when they're firing on all cylinders. Like, you led the nation in scoring for a reason coming into this game. But for all of us that have watched every snap and watched every drive, you're like, that doesn't really tell the whole story.
Right.
Because this defense gave I mean, they only allowed 28 points to Alabama on the road. That should have been enough based on where you were scoring wise to pull an upset on the road. The offense struggled. The offense has, I mean, the big plays through the air have not been there in the last two games. Like Brazel has been kind of taken away the last two games for Tennessee. And they have an obvious huge problem with wide receiver drops this season. I mean, Kitselman's regressed as a pass catcher. I think Mike Matthews, look, I will always be biased. He went to my high school, but he's the weak link, I think, right now. The bad
he has a
open.
touchdown. He has a touchdown if he catches that.
Twice this season. He's dropped 2 touchdowns.
That safety that came down on him was out of position. He turns and burns. I mean, you got to catch that football.
It can't keep happening. And I struggle with it when it comes to Mike. I think Braylon's been awesome.
I saw someone say on his drop, which it was probably someone who knows exactly what the first read was. And maybe they didn't mean it this way, but they said it. They were like, he had someone streaking down the field open when he threw that ball to Mike. Well, he also threw a touchdown to Mike Matthews. So it was probably his first read, considering that's who he threw it to.
And Aguilar's not been great. Like, I think Aguilar's been solid. He's done enough.
That was his worst game by far. Saturday night.
I don't think he was good at Mississippi State either. I think that
he wasn't, but I felt like that was much more on the receiving group, Kitselman included. I think like that, like he didn't do anything really bad against Mississippi State.
He's just very hot and cold. Like, he gets hot, and you could tell. Like, that first quarter against Georgia,
his colds have been shockingly like lukewarm. Like, they haven't been. Yeah. We haven't. Someone mentioned it. Like that. I think that's what Greg McElroy said. He's like, that's what Vol fans were worried about. Were those interceptions on the pick six? I'm thinking that wasn't the kind of interceptions I was worried about. He also hasn't done that. Like He's been
he did
really...
have an interception like that. He had a pretty backbreaking one at App State last year against, what was it, Clemson? Who was the one he had the goal, like the
but he was like scrambling around and like tried to fit it in a window.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to be a dude. He wasn't really, I mean, it just wasn't a good ball to Kitselman. Because I didn't agree with that play call, but
no,
that touchdown was there. If he throws that over his left shoulder high, like that where it's supposed to be, like that's a touchdown. You can't throw that on his back hip.
Am I crazy for saying... Maybe it's just because I trust DeSean Bishop so much, and because DeSean has been your best offensive player the last 2 weeks. Shout out to him. He's averaging 10 yards a carry and on like 30 carries the last 2 weeks.
I'm president of the fan club.
Love DeSean Bishop. I think he would have gotten in on 1 yard out. I wouldn't have hated going to the locker room.
Not with those officials, because they kept him out in the two that one of them he looked obviously in.
But that's what I'm saying. I would not have hated him running it up, like doing one more run. Like, I think Bishop would have found a way.
Well, they came out. I think they had 5 on the line of scrimmage. Maybe another backer up there when you come out of the timeout. And I might be crazy, and they may hold him down and not get a delay of game penalty. We saw that in the Oklahoma-South Carolina game. They don't call that for some reason. You can just lay on the ball carrier for an extended amount of time. 9 seconds on a either 1 yard run for a touchdown or a negative 1 yard run. 9 seconds isn't an impossible amount of time to snap and spike. So everyone's saying you have to pass or you have to pass. Well, number one, you kind of already sold out for the last play. So you don't have to pass. You can do whatever you think is the most effective because you have one play left in your mind. So I thought, run the ball and know that if he doesn't get in, we got to get back on the line of scrimmage and try to spike it. It's second down.
I also just think he would have gotten in.
I think I think I like our chances better, especially in that formation. If you're going to pass it, just put your wide receivers on the field.
Yeah, if you're going to pass, Brazel's got to be on the field in this situation.
Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
I hate the play call, but it's one of those. It's like it's hard to be so mad at Josh Heupel and so mad at Joey Halzle because the touchdown was also there. If it's just not poorly thrown.
That's fair.
And he wasn't. He didn't have a free pass there. He had some in the face, but it's one of those as a quarterback. You have to know it cannot be thrown chest high to his back hip. Like that's an interception all day.
Kentucky. It seems like a lot of people think Tennessee's going to blow out Kentucky.
If this game was in Neyland, I would 100%. Yes.
I agree. But the last 2 games, Heupel's 2 trips there, I mean, it's one possession games, both instances. And I understand different. I think Liam Cohen was the OC in both of those trips to Lexington.
And one of them had Ray Davis, right?
No, I think Ray was here last year, right? Or was that 2 years ago? Was it 2? Maybe you're right.
I think you're right. Ago.
Yes, Ray was 2 years ago, and Will Levis was, man, that feels like forever ago.
And then what
years
about?
ago.
I mean, was Rodriguez
4
the
years.
previous trip that was a 1-score game as well?
Which one?
Rodriguez, was he the 20?
I think that's right. 21.
2021. So I mean, two stellar running backs too. Like their offenses were more effective, a lot more effective than they are now.
21 was fun, man. Remember they weren't ready on the screen where we had that quick screen left to Javonte Payton, and he was already off to the races for a touchdown before the cameras were ready.
Yeah, I remember.
Great stuff. Did you go to that game?
No, last time I've been up there was 19, which was also a nail biter. Jeremy Pruitt and company pulled it out, made a stop on the 1 yard line to end the game.
So what's your gut? Do you think Tennessee covers comfortably? Do you think this is a lot closer and this is a 1-score game, kind of like it was with Texas this weekend between the Cats and the Horns? Where do you lean?
I think it's going to be a ultra competitive game. I think Tennessee just doesn't have a history of going out against this team at night on the road and putting their foot on someone's neck and ending it. Now, I think the spread's also small enough that this offense can't produce. This Kentucky offense flat out cannot. Whereas Tennessee does have the ability to. I think they will, not necessarily, but they have the ability to produce. So I mean, it could be a 10-point game. But yeah, I see this as another 1-score game. You are fighting to the very end with this team. You let them hang around far too long. And Kentucky fans, and I would imagine the players, know that this could very well end Tennessee's playoff hopes. And that would be a sweet, sweet thing to do right before basketball season, because next week they don't give a crap about college football. So this would be a great way to end in their college football season.
Well, part of me is like, is it wrong to be like, yeah, I kind of know what this team is. Like football, it's 8-4, 9-3. Like this is kind of like 23. It's just kind of like, let's just get through this and keep it moving, and then we'll see what happens next year. I'm very, very excited about Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie and JP Estrella. And
we've never gotten highlights from a close scrimmage, so the media accounts pump for them. They're like, yeah, we're pumping these highlights out. Felix Akpara lob, put it on the page. Let's get it.
I can't do that. Like I think that's the Felix stuff. Good player. We've gone too far. We've lost the plot. Felix is a rim running center who's going to catch some lobs, do the dirty work for Tennessee. Important player, but he doesn't need to be leading Tennessee in scoring ever. It's kind of like the Kitzelman receiving, where if Kitzelman ever leads Tennessee in receiving.
Are there people that
Tennessee
believe
lost.
that's the case?
Well, I think there is just a lot of people who are like, is there another level for Felix Akpara? And I'm like, probably not. Like just a better version of what you saw last year. Like
which would be like 12 if he can get to around 12 points a game, because he was
I just want to rebound better.
7 or 8.
Yeah, I just want to be a better rebounder. Like
but I think you've kind of seen, because he is his primary role on defense is going to be rim protector, and I think it's tough to be a dominant rebounder and a rim protector. Like you kind of have to choose. So you need someone else to fill the role of like, you need someone to do the dirty work on the end of stopping shots, and then you need someone to do the dirty work of picking up those shots.
That's fair.
It's hard to be both.
Final thing for you, Caleb. More of a gut punch. The Georgia loss at home on 4th down with Gunner finding London Humphreys in the back of the end zone, or the pick 6 at the end of the first half against Alabama. Which one just like it still lingers, and you think that's just more of a Tennessee Vol football fan gut punch this year? Because I've been going back and forth on this.
That's a great question. I thought you were going to just say like the which game, and it's probably Georgia, because it's winnable. It's a, like you said, a one pass away, or a Max Gilbert field goal away, which, by the way, I saw some Max Gilbert slander online. Someone brought up the Kentucky game last year. They were like, I don't know why we keep overhyping this kid. Look at the stats. There's nothing to overhype. It is what it is. Like,
he's missed 2 field goals since that Kentucky game last year.
You think we have selective memory? If you hate on Max Gilbert, you are the definition of selective memory. That kid
We're
has
on the same page.
Memory.
Max is very good.
Phenomenal.
Very consistent.
Phenomenal.
People want like perfection from kickers, and I'm like, who outside of Justin Tucker, who's batting 1,000? Do y'all remember Alabama, how many titles they have with the whole Alabama kickers thing? Is a whole deal. Like that was the whole thing for the entire.
The reason I knew we were going to win in 2022 is because it was Alabama on the field. When it came down to the field, I was like, we're good. That ain't going in. No chance. And that was a very good kicker. I'm blanking on his name. That was one of their best.
Yeah,
I think he might
years.
be their leading scorer in school
Yeah.
history.
And it's funny, we all knew he was missing that kick.
Yeah.
And
sure enough.
Yeah. We're on the same page. Yeah, leave Max Gilbert alone.
And he'll get you free cookies. Just shut up and enjoy
There you
them. Yeah, see, it's almost Georgia because you know what happens if those don't occur. But man, that Alabama one, you were like, we're in this ball game. If it's probably Georgia though, because then you come out, you go 3 and out. You force them to go 3 and out, and then DeSean Bishop houses a long run, and you're right back in the game.
Yeah,
you just can't. Which that's another thing. As upset as I am, and I do feel like that was probably the worst performance overall that I've seen from a team in the Heupel era. To not roll over dead after that, I have a lot of credit. Now I think they could have clawed back more, but I also think I don't necessarily think it was a lack of fight necessarily. I think they couldn't get out of their own way, and that made it challenging. Gosh, I love beating Alabama so much. It's hard to not say that. And then DeSean Bishop almost brings him down, and that would have been the end of the half. And then that's just a 7-point swing, not a 14-point swing.
I think it's Georgia for me. It's
got to be Georgia because you know what happens if those don't occur.
I'm still more mad at Tennessee losing at Bama in 23 than 25.
Yeah.
23 was inexcusable because you played a perfect first half outside of they were the worst red zone team in the SEC that season. And I'll never forgive them for it because that's when this should have ended. They had them on the ropes. You played a perfect first half outside of finishing. If you finish one more of those drives in the red zone with 6, instead of settling for field goals twice on those early 2 drives, because you scored a touchdown first to squirrel, you could, if you're up 17-0, 20-0, something like that going into the half, you're up. The main point is you were 1 play away from being up 3 scores going into the half. Bama's not getting up off the mat. They felt recharged, escaping the first half, only being down 2 scores. It took 2 plays, and then it's a 1-score game in the second half. That's when you should have beaten Alabama. Played. I'm not sure you'll ever play better in the first half on the road in Tuscaloosa than they did in 23.
Probably not. You may never play as good on the road ever again, apparently. But that one lingers. That one in 2015, the strip sack to end the game.
Yeah,
those sit in my mind pretty often.
Caleb Mitchell, what can the good folks check out from you and the team over at More Important Issues this week?
Well, who knows? We may be breaking news live later. Landon may be getting a cease. We may be permanently removed from all Tennessee athletic sporting events if my man Landon keeps it up. So make sure you're following along now for everything. But we'll be live Thursday for sure on Fan Run Radio, and then back Sunday after the Kentucky game. Hopefully, good news. You said it. This week just sucked. I've been sick since Thursday.
Oh no!
Let me just give you a rundown of this weekend. Let me just lay it out for you. We went on a little getaway to Blowing Rock, about 15 minutes from Boone. So, and you know me, I'm an App State guy because of Joey. So they lost to Coastal this weekend. Don't worry, they really tied a knot on it or bow on it. But Thursday, get to our hotel in Blowing Rock, and I don't have my wallet. I booked the room, so needed an ID. Thankfully, they took the photo identification on my phone. That was good. And then everywhere pretty much had Apple Pay. So that was another positive. I wasn't completely moneyless.
Did you lose your wallet, or did you just
left it in my car?
Okay.
And we drove significant other's car. So
that's actually scarier than leaving it in your house in your car.
Yeah, I mean, but it was safe in my car. But I knew exactly where I left it. It's where I always leave it in my car. So yeah, I knew exactly where it was as soon as I got out of the car and did the pat down. I was like, yeah, don't have my wallet. Know where it's at.
It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. And then, of course, we know what happened Saturday. ETSU loses the rail rivalry to UTC. That was tough. The Tony Vitello news almost broke me. I'll be honest. When I saw that text come across my phone, I mean, everyone was like, what happened? What's wrong? What happened? So it's been that kind of weekend, but we bounced back. And I'm still sick. I'm so sick of allergies. If I mentioned this, maybe you're the same. I would go into massive amounts of debt if there was a surgery to just fix my sinuses forever.
My dad did the sinus surgery and didn't take.
But that's not a see. I think that it's not like LASIK now or like even like hair transplant. Like I wouldn't pay. I don't care. I'm okay with being bald.
No, we're the bald brother. Like, and you're seeing, I don't trust it. I don't think it's not to get on a soapbox here. I think you're fighting your genetics there. That's like one of those where it's like it's not right. Like just plan it. It just feels too sci-fi. I don't trust it long term. I wouldn't do it.
Right. And I would consider it now because I think like I know a few people that have done the turkey thing. Like they've gone and done.
Do you know people personally have done it?
Yeah, I know someone who's done it in Romania, I believe, is another place that's got that.
I just
so like they like the experience seems cool. So like if someone, I don't know how much I'd pay for it personally. At this point, zero. I wouldn't pay anything for it. But
I think it's because we're comfortable. Like we've made the change over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is our new path.
But like later in life, if I just had some money lying around, like I might, because they put you up in a 5-star hotel. Like it's an experience.
I'm not doing it. I'm comfortable in my own skin, man. Like you
don't want to see the world, do you?
I mean, I can see the world without getting a hair transplant.
No, there was some guy that was like, "I'll take you to Romania tomorrow if you just tell me if you want to do it."
It's probably on the list. I haven't been like, gotta get to Romania.
No, but just
like a long flight.
Those that would be tough. But it just Europe in general, I love to go to.
I want to do the train ride through Europe.
Eastern Europe is one that's not high on my list, but I know a ton. My brother and dad have both spent I shouldn't say a significant amount of time, but like more than like 2 weeks in Eastern Europe, and they loved it. My brother spent like a month or maybe 2 in Romania when he was like 18. Loved it. Like he was like, I'd move to Romania tomorrow.
I feel like it's a long flight. I'm a big like flight guy. After doing the Maui flight last summer, like it's some of these I gotta be retired and like nothing on my plate because I need like a week to recover, and it's a deal, man. Like I don't know if I'll ever go to Australia. I'd love to go to Australia, but that flight is crazy in terms of how long you're I don't know. Long flights are brutal.
You kind of got to do those in like first class or like at least like what do they have on all those like Australia flights? They have I can't remember like economy plus or something where you have more room and you can recline more.
Maybe do I get a koala or a kangaroo involved in the process? Like I get to hang out with them.
I'm sure you can do that. You can do that at the Nashville Zoo.
Yeah. No, I just want them on the flight with me.
On the flight.
Just hang out like a comfort animal.
Dude, kangaroos are crazy. I wouldn't do that. Koalas, I think, are pretty chill.
Yeah, koala would be the way to go.
Kangaroos, though, I mean, they're also large. You don't realize how big those animals are. They're massive.
Never seen one up close.
I've never seen one up close, just the videos. I guess you picture them and hear about them, and
yeah,
it seems like dogs, which I guess there are massive dogs, but yeah, most dogs.
There you go. Caleb Mitchell, always a pleasure, and I'll talk to you again next week.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.